Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a quick review on the Savage M25 chambered in 17 Hornet. If you like what you see, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, don't forget about the bell, and please leave a comment below. Thanks for stopping by. And of course we'll do a safety check. No magazine in, magazine is empty, and no round inside the chamber. Now let's take a quick look at the rifle. And there's the Hornet. In my opinion, it's a beautiful rifle. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. This one has the wood stock with the high gloss finish. And it's very smooth, very shiny, and it doesn't have a scratch on it. This rifle belongs to a friend of mine from my local gun range, and he let me borrow it today to take some shooting practice with it and try to get it sighted in pretty good. And then I told him I'd go ahead and make a video about it. If you go back to the buttstock, it's got a little buffer pad on it, but with this being chambered in 17, you really don't need that. And then it does have the attachment on the bottom of the butt, and then this one came with 2 on the front of the stock. It's got a pretty interesting little magazine. It holds 4 rounds, and it's got the slightly angled form right there, which I guess you could use to use this almost like an angled foregrip if you didn't want to hold on to the stock of the gun. Either way, I think it's pretty cool. I would like it to hold more than 4 rounds since it's a 17. You know, it's kind of a pain in the neck to have to reload after every 4 rounds, but it is what it is. It's a pretty simple function. Just push this directly up in there and you hear a little click, and then right there, I don't know how well that's showing up on the camera, right there you can see the little tab which you push that on and it pops the magazine out. Works really well. Didn't have any feed issues or anything today, so the only complaint that I would have is that it only holds 4 rounds. I'd imagine that you can get a magazine to hold more than 4 rounds, but this specific one here only has 4. The bolt action works pretty smooth, nice and clean. It does have a safety on the bolt, so now you can't pull the trigger, even though you can operate the bolt itself. Remove the trigger, or remove the safety, and the trigger will pull. And I don't know how well it's showing up on the camera. I'll try to take a different angle at it, but it does say Savage across the inside of the bolt, which I think is pretty cool. It doesn't add to, you know, how well the gun fires or anything, but it's still pretty neat. See if I can't get this to show up. Right there it is. Savage right on the bolt. This rifle came with a smooth barrel. You know, there's no iron sights on it, and there's no sight at the tip. So obviously we're going to need a scope, and we'll go ahead and talk about the scope next. The scope is a Leopold. It's a VX1 3x9x50, which I think is pretty good. Shooting at 150 and 25, you can definitely see the impact on your targets. I don't have any targets to show you today. I took pretty much everything that we had with us to the range today and had a friend of mine meet me up there. Actually, my nephew meet me up there. So we went through a whole bunch of targets, and it was just been too hard to do a just sharing my shooting today because there were so many different targets and hard to keep track of them. But back to this rifle, the Leopold scope works pretty good. I like to be able to see the impact on my targets, and this will definitely do it for at least up to 100 yards. 200 yards is a little bit different. Looking through the spotting scope, I could see the rounds going past the 200-yard barrier, but we weren't anywhere near paper. It was too far away for us to get a clean shot, so we tried. I'm pretty sure that the guy who owns the rifle changed the trigger in here. Sorry, I don't know the name of the trigger or the style, but we can at least go through the operation. It's got a pretty standard size trigger well, so you know, just barely going to fit your finger in there. If you're going to be shooting outside with any type of heavy glove on, it's probably going to give you a little bit of time, difficulty getting in there. But as far as the trigger goes, it's got quite a bit of take up here before you hit the actual trigger itself. And then as soon as you hit the trigger itself, It's got a real short pull, real soft pull, and then it's gonna stick back, rock the bolt again, and go again. To me, it's a very responsive trigger. It's very easy to stay on target with. My prior videos I've talked about having the barrel dance around and different things when I pull the trigger. This doesn't do that, and yeah, I'm totally aware of the fact that it is a 17, so it's not going to have the recoil or the concussive force as, you know, a 50 cal or a 308 or even the 5.56. But for me, it's a very nice trigger, and I like the way it acts. So far so good. Would I recommend it? Absolutely, I would. Right now, I currently don't own any 17s, but they are on my list for the future, and I wouldn't say I'm going to get a bunch of them, but I'm at least going to buy one, maybe two. I think it's a really fantastic rifle, super fun to shoot super fast and super flat. So one of these days I'll probably pick one up, and I'll go ahead and show you the rounds that I was using today, and we'll wrap it up. Today we used a different box of Hornet, and I didn't save it, I threw it away. But then this is the larger box that we had with the 25 grain HP. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's a 50 round box. The guy who let me borrow the rifle supplied the ammo and told me to just use it up. We didn't get through all of it because, like I said, I took a whole bunch of different stuff with me to the range today, so we wanted to get time to shoot everything. But these rounds are super cool, so let's go take a look at them. The rounds that I didn't keep the box to were the same type of round, but it had the red tip on the top. So if you're familiar with the 17, you're probably familiar with that. But I just think that these are some super cool rounds. Really, really fast, really, really flat shooting. And it looks like a mini 5.56. So how could you ask for anything more? And that's what I got left in the box. Excuse me. So go out and get one. I highly recommend a 17, or at least borrow one from somebody. Try it out. They're a blast to shoot, and I think you'll have a good time with it. Alright, well, that's my review for the Savage M25 chambered in 17 Hornet. If you like what you see, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, don't forget about the bell, and please leave a comment below. Thanks for stopping by.